I retired from the FBI March 1979. At that time, I was in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Division. I had more than 700 personnel under my command. The Attorney General of the United States, Griffin Bell, asked me after I retired if I'd coordinate security for the Pan American Games. I did. I was a consultant in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. I was a consultant for former Governor Jerry Brown, California Narcotic Authority. The next case I worked of a major consequence was the McMartin preschool case in Manhattan Beach, California. The children there claimed there were tunnels under the school. They were taken into the tunnels and through the tunnels up into the trap door of a bathroom in a triplex next door, placed in automobiles, and prostituted in the community. These are 2-, 3-, and 4-year-old children before they entered kindergarten. In addition, the children claimed that they were flown into the mountains where they were involved with adults in robes, black robes, chanting, candles. They talked about the brown babies who were cut up, actually sacrificed. And in checking into this and researching this, of course, this was obviously a satanic ceremony. The McMartin family, who owned the preschool, they were tried of Ray Bucky and his grandmother. The grandmother was acquitted, hung jury on Ray Bucky. The second trial, another hung jury. I had an opportunity in 1990 to gain control of the school. Now, the school had been given to Danny Davis, the defense attorney, and he had sold it, even though he made $15 million on the case, by the way. He had sold it to a contractor who was going to tear it down. When I learned this, I contacted the contractor. I said, I want to be given an opportunity to go on that school and look for the tunnels. The authorities had looked for them in 1987. They said they could find no tunnels. Along with some of the parents, we hired Dr. Gary Stickle, UCLA archaeologist. He hired his crew and brought them in. And in 34 days, Dr. Stickle said, there had been tunnels under that school. They were covered up, and they were covered in. An informant of mine told me that there was an abandoned satanic site in Crestline, California, up in the mountains. I went up into the mountains and obtained photographs, of the site. I have a lecture that I give where these pictures are available. It's called Gunderson Chronicles number 2. It's a 4-hour lecture that I gave in Kansas City a number of years ago, which shows this abandoned site and also pictures from the McMartin Tunnel school dig. From there, I became involved in another case, a very frightening case, because I established, with the help of people like John DeCamp, former state senator in Nebraska, that we have in this country today a covert military criminal enterprise, government enterprise, primarily by U.S. military intelligence, that is operating full throttle, and everybody refuses to investigate it. In the Nebraska case, it's called the Franklin Cover-Up. This is the book here that John DeCamp wrote, by the way. It's all documented in there. And in that particular instance, they were taking children out of foster homes, orphanages, Boys Town, driving them from Omaha, Nebraska to Sioux City, Iowa, 184 miles away, placing them in private jets and flying them to Washington, D.C. for sex orgies with prominent people, including congressmen, senators, and certain people in the White House.
Il y a, dans tous les pays occidentaux et sans doute dans le monde, un très puissant lobby pédophile que j'appelle ce qu'on appelle la pédocriminalité de réseau, où des enfants sont volés pour être vendus et stockés dans des cérémonies de sacrifices, etc. Ce qui n'est pas délirant. Élise Lucet elle-même, Élise Lucet qui présente le journal de la 2, avait une fois fait quelque chose de très respectable dans sa vie, qui était une longue enquête télévisée que nous remettrons en lien, où elle montrait la réalité absolument incontestable de ces réseaux pédocriminels d'élite.
Marie, c'est ainsi que nous l'avons nommée, a écrit cette lettre de sa propre volonté. Marie et son frère, que nous appellerons Pierre, affirment que leur père et d'autres adultes les auraient violés et terrorisés au cours de cérémonies étranges. Ici, elle nous parle de son père et des lieux où il les aurait emmenés.
Il y avait un endroit à Paris, dont lui c'était le chef. Donc il disait qu'il était un grand mage et qu'il s'appelait Bouc-Noubourg. Et dans cet endroit, ils avaient des grandes robes blanches avec des bords dorés. Puis ils faisaient des prières, ils violaient les enfants, ils leur faisaient peur et puis il y avait plusieurs autres gens aussi qui nous violaient. Puis ils nous attachaient aussi sur des tables et puis ils nous frappaient ou ils nous mettaient des aiguilles auprès des yeux pour nous faire croire qu'ils voulaient nous crever les yeux.
Et est-ce qu'il vous faisait réellement du mal? Est-ce qu'il vous donnait des coups?
Oui.
Je peux vous dire, ce qui m'a sauté le plus aux yeux, je ne m'attendais absolument pas à voir cela, ce qui m'a sauté le plus aux yeux, c'est que j'ai connaissance d'un gamin qui m'a fait un dessin exactement le même que le dessin de la gamine. On pourrait peut-être se poser des questions.
Ça existe, que c'est terrifiant parce que c'est sans doute la chose la plus terrifiante au monde, que ces réseaux sont très puissants parce qu'ils sont très haut placés, très haut placés, liés à la très haute bourgeoisie, avec des infiltrations dans l'administration française, dans la justice, etc., etc. Et ce qui explique des dysfonctionnements très étranges, les morts suspectes du juge Jambert.
Christian Jambert était un bon gendarme, mais un gendarme sans doute un peu trop zélé. 15 années durant, il a enquêté, recoupé, épisté Émile Louis, convaincu que l'homme détenait le secret de ces jeunes filles qu'on appelait les disparues de Lyon. Convaincu aussi de dysfonctionnements majeurs dans l'enquête judiciaire, il l'avait écrit dès 84 dans ce procès verbal, resté lettre morte jusqu'en 97, où l'instruction semblait relancée. Mais à quelques heures de son audition par le juge, Christian Jambert était retrouvé sans vie, suicidé a-t-on dit, dossier classé, jusqu'à aujourd'hui, autopsie du corps, concordance d'éléments qui remettent en cause le suicide.
Les constatations du médecin légiste laissent à penser qu'il y aurait 2 orifices d'entrée de projectiles au niveau de la tête de la victime.
Il faut nous expliquer comment on peut se mettre 2 balles dans la tête d'angles différents et comment surtout on peut ne pas le constater quand on découvre le corps du gendarme Jambert et quand on donne le permis d'inhumer.
L'élargissement du monstre d'Apoigny, gracié après 8 ans de prison alors qu'il avait pris perpète, à la demande, c'était sous Chirac, on va remettre le lien, des choses inexplicables, et l'élargissement de la femme de Dutroux qui sort à mi-peine, hein.
En Belgique, l'ancienne femme du pédophile Marc Dutroux a obtenu une libération conditionnelle après avoir purgé plus de la moitié de sa peine. Michel Martin avait été condamnée à 30 ans de détention. Elle va donc quitter la prison pour entrer dans un couvent près de Namur, dans le sud du pays.
Je crois qu'il fallait la condamner à perpétuité comme Marc Dutroux et voilà, ils n'ont pas fait. Voilà. J'ai pas l'impression que c'est la place où elle a le droit de continuer sa vie après ce qu'elle a fait. Elle n'a pas mérité ce luxe-ci.
Les sœurs Clarisse, c'était quelque chose qui accueillait nos enfants, ici qui venaient sur Saint-Berthouin, et aujourd'hui on accueille des assassins, je suis désolé de le dire, c'est honteux, c'est monstrueux, ce n'est pas normal.
Malgré la protestation de tout le peuple belge, parce que il est négocié avec Dutroux que s'il se tait et qu'il ne balance pas le réseau pour lequel il travaille, car je le dis, ce n'est jamais qu'un receleur d'enfants qui sont commandés et qu'il stocke pour être vendus pour des réseaux et pour des cérémonies de type pédocriminel satanique.
Un certain Michel Nioul est associé aux agissements de Dutroux. Qui est Michel Nioul? Un personnage de la haute société qui n'a jamais caché qu'il organisait des parties fines réservées aux Gotha belges. Pourquoi Marc Dutroux, petit trafiquant, minable voleur de voitures, est-il en relation avec Nioul? Dutroux est-il un pervers qui chasse des fillettes pour lui-même, ou est-il le pourvoyeur de partous de la bonne société?
On lui dit que s'il se tait, effectivement, s'il balance, il sera assassiné. Il y a beaucoup de morts dans ces histoires-là, mais s'il se tait, effectivement, sa femme sera libérée à mi-peine, comme le monstre d'Apoigny a été libéré au bout de 8 ans alors qu'il avait pris 23 ans incompressibles. Voilà, c'est la preuve, effectivement, que ces réseaux pédocriminels sont très puissants, et qu'ils arrivent à faire taire la justice, la vraie justice, hein, et que ça donne effectivement cet élargissement absolument obscène et étonnant de la femme du trou qui sort à mi-peine. Hein. Et ça explique aussi quelque chose de très angoissant, qui est le destin héroïque et tragique de Stan Mayo, pour ceux qui le connaissent, qui est un ancien gendarme qui a essayé de faire son travail honnêtement, notamment à partir de la cellule de Van Voort.
Il s'agit de ce qui composera le premier CD-ROM du Desenvoort, se révélant contenir 8500 photos environ.
Ces photos mettent en scène tout d'abord des enfants dénudés dans des poses suggestives, puis de très nombreuses photos immortalisent des actes d'attouchement, de viol. Et l'abomination va crescendo jusqu'à des viols de bébés, des scènes de torture allant jusqu'à l'usage de fer à repasser, d'électrodes.
L'horreur va jusqu'à la mise à mort d'une enfant par égorgement au couteau.
Stan Mayo est en grave difficulté en ce moment. Il est dans la clandestinité, il est poursuivi, recherché, parce qu'il a essayé de faire un travail assez honnête et assez intègre sur la réalité de ces réseaux pédocriminels couverts par les hautes instances politiques. Et que donc je m'inquiète publiquement effectivement du sort de Stan Mayo, qui semblerait avoir disparu récemment. Je ne sais pas trop ce qu'il en est, mais...
Les images sont abominables. Parler du viol d'un bébé, ça paraît, c'est inconcevable. D'un seul coup, on le voit. C'est-à-dire qu'on est obligé de se dire ça existe. Il y a des gens qui violent des bébés.
Tu tues les enfants? Comment tu le sais, ça?
Parce que j'aime plus. C'était des enfants qui étaient des enfants qui étaient un peu arabes et des choses comme ça, et puis ils leur tombaient la tête.
Kannst du sagen, was passiert ist, ohne Details zu nennen?
En fait,
Also, Sie haben das Kind zersägt. Sie haben ein Kind zersägt? Sie haben Teile von seinem Körper abgetrennt. Womit? Mit einem elektrischen Messer. Haben Sie das Kind lebend zersägt? Und dann haben Sie es getötet? Nein, Sie haben es leiden lassen.
Père Morand, quand vous parlez d'une jeune fille mise nue sur une croix, arrosée de sang animal, quand vous parlez de fœtus qu'on arrache du ventre de leur mère et qu'on sacrifie, vous nous parlez de quoi?
Je vous parle de personnes que j'ai rencontrées, que j'ai aidées, accompagnées pendant des années.
Et qui ont été la proie?
Qui ont été la proie de groupuscules satanistes extrêmement redoutables, pratiquant ce qu'on appelle les messes noires, liés à des rites de magie et de sorcellerie, avec des meurtres rituels, sous le double couvert, je pèse mes mots, d'une part de la mafia, tous les réseaux mondiaux de la prostitution de bas ou de haut étage, et d'autre part de personnalités qui tiennent des postes clés dans notre civilisation, que ce soit dans le monde de la politique, dans le monde de la magistrature, dans le monde scientifique, dans le monde de la finance, dans le monde intellectuel, et je dirais même, hélas, 3 fois hélas, dans le monde ecclésiastique. Des prêtres défroqués ou menant double vie et qui se retrouvent dans ces scènes effroyables de messes noires, de meurtres rituels, c'est assez effroyable.
Now, why do I think Google is one of the biggest threats to getting the truth out? Well, let's just do a search. Let's search for Madeleine McCann and see what we get. We get the result from the Express newspaper, the Metro, the Daily Mail, the official Find Madeleine page, the Telegraph, the Express, the Mirror, Vanity Fair, the Guardian, the Daily Telegraph and the Daily Mail. Every single one of them mainstream sources. My Madeleine films have been watched by nearly 500,000 people, and in my opinion are far more accurate than anything that has appeared in the mainstream media. So why aren't my films on there? Now people would say, well, yeah, but you've got to go further down the list. But here's the problem. 95% of all web traffic goes to sites on page 1 of Google. So 95% of people will never go past that first page. And this, in my opinion, is a form of soft censorship. Most people are still getting their information from corporate mainstream sources. And why isn't Google being investigated by the Monopolies Commission? That's a monopoly right there, is it not? 95%, I would say that's a monopoly on the service industry that provides information services on the internet. They get 95%. So why aren't they being investigated? You see, people would say, well, you've got to type in a different search string in order to find more truthful sources. Well, people in this room might know that, but 95% of people who just go on page 1 of Google, they don't realise they're being misled in the mainstream media. They don't realise there's anything more to the Madeleine McCann case, for example. And the other thing with Google is now a verb, which I think is also very dangerous. I mean, if you go out to do your groceries, you don't say, oh, I'm just popping out to do a bit of Tescoing, do you? Or let's go out tonight and get Witherspoon, shall we? Yeah? Google is now a verb. I Googled it. By making Google a verb, you're putting all your faith and loyalty into one corporation. A corporation which I think needs to be investigated by the Monopolies Commission. And a corporation which doesn't even publish its algorithm. So you don't know whether there's any corruption in it ranking those mainstream sources first. Huge problem in getting the truth out. People think the internet is the answer, but we've got to tackle this if the internet is going to provide the truth to people. Now there's plenty of useful idiots in Parliament, but how do you create a good actor? How do you create a good fake MP that's going to big up these fake issues for you? Well, I think there are many ways that they're doing it, and one of them is linked to the issue of paedophilia, which has been all over our media fairly recently. And I asked the question, why is paedophilia often linked to people of influence and politicians? Because I think the media completely get the cart before the horse on this issue. Now I'm going to show you a clip of me talking to Bill Maloney about this issue. If you're sensitive to this kind of thing, it's not very pleasant listening, so I'll just put that warning for anyone who's sensitive to it. The intelligence agencies are the ones who are ultimately controlling some of these care homes and institutions.
Absolutely.
Because they have the power to prevent the police from doing a proper investigation, and B, make sure that things don't get into the media.
Well,
okay? and he suggests, and others have suggested, that they're used as blackmail traps for powerful people.
That's what I was just going to say.
Or money,
yeah.
or just snuff films and that kind of thing.
Yes.
So let's assume then that it does go right to the power at the top.
Paedophilia can control world politics.
Exactly.
World politics. Now, let me give you an example, right? If you look at Haute de la Garenne, right? Mm-hmm. Jimmy Savile. Now, Haute de la Garenne, what they do, but first of all, I've got to tell you that Jimmy Savile was often present at cabinet meetings in Israel. He was asked to go out there and sit in on cabinet meetings, Jimmy Savile. Mm-hmm. God knows why. But
I'm just trying to get to because it's the crux. Do you know what I mean?
Let's get you're a politician. You're a politician, right?
Yeah, I understand.
I'm Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
I'll say, Rich, you want a kid?
Yeah.
Come over to Jersey. It's a pucker place. We've got some beautiful kids. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
come up, it's going to cost you this, or it's going to cost you that, it's going to cost you a little favour. You go, all right, Jim, that's great. You go over there, but you don't know when you're having sex with a child, or you're abusing a child, or you're torturing a child, or you're killing a child, whether you've got a baby there and you want to bite it to death. Then
it's filmed without
it's filmed. You get home, DVD, or then would have been a VHS copy, comes in the post, so you see it, you're the politician, and then we say to you, we've got this on you, look at this film, and then you'll come back and say, what do you want?
So in essence then, it's something which is, these grotesque acts that people do, that's something which is kind of somehow, for whatever reason, ingrained in certain people. And the intelligence agencies, because the CIA have been involved in this kind of activity, actually training 9-year-old girls in how to pleasure men, and I think that's been admitted to, right? So they're using something which is there to as a power tool, effectively.
Now, I would say all the intelligence agencies, all the secret services around the world, every single country, the best thing that you can have, really, is if you call someone a paedophile, and you can prove that they're a paedophile and they're a politician or whatever, you have then got them by the short and curlies, and they will do whatever you want.
All right, so this is what I mean by, I think they get the cart before the horse. The mainstream media seems to portray that people of influence, MPs and powerful people, abuse that power to then abuse children. No, I don't think it works that way at all. I think that people who are inclined that way are selected, they're picked out, probably years before they become powerful, and they are put into powerful places deliberately so that they can then be controlled from the outside. And if you don't think that this activity goes on, just listen to this clip from Ken Livingstone, former Mayor of London.
I was raising in Parliament up against Mrs Thatcher the Kincora Boys Home, where boys were being abused, and MI5 was filming it because they were hoping to be able to blackmail senior politicians in Northern Ireland.
All right, so let's be clear what Ken Livingstone is saying there. He's saying that our government, i.e. MI5, go into children's homes, install hidden cameras, then allow men to come in and abuse the children and film it without anyone's knowledge, and then use that footage to then blackmail those people. Right? And that's been funded by your taxes, according to Ken Livingstone. So, I ask the question, how many of the current cabinets are being controlled using this method? I don't think anyone has the answer to that. But I do think that a lot of the stuff that's coming out in mainstream media about Scotland Yard investigations into historic child abuse, because you've only got to look at Operation Grange in the Madeleine McCann case to realise that MI5 can manipulate Scotland Yard to run complete fake investigations as psychological operations. That's what the Madeleine McCann Operation Grange was. It was not an attempt to find Madeleine. So these historic child abuse investigations, I would take them with a pinch of salt. And the question I ask is, how many of these guys are being controlled using that method? Because I think that's the big question with regards to this paedophilia issue.
Okay, so this girl called Madeline went missing in 2007. This is in The Guardian, mainstream leftist newspaper from the UK. Detectives have released the faces of the 2 men suspected in this kidnapping. Okay, look carefully at these faces. Someone amazing and smart and skilled has put together John Podesta and Tony Podesta being phased in and out with these images. Do you see a likeness here? Because I do, and this is very, very concerning, as we already know that these men are suspected of being paedophiles and being quite heavily involved in a paedophile ring. This is on 4chan. People reading through the emails have discovered a code in the emails between John Podesta and Podesta at Podesta, which is Tony Podesta. They appear to be using code words such as hot dog for boy, pizza for girl, cheese for little girl, pasta for little boy, ice cream for male prostitute, walnut for person of colour, map for semen, and sauce for orgy. It was a lovely, tempting assortment of cheeses. That means very young girls. Yummy. P.S. Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than on pasta? and people who've been researching this believe that what he's saying is, do you think he'll be better at dominating them, the girls and the boys? And here's another one. Now there are tons of these. I can't read all of them. If you just read one or two, perhaps it just, might seem a bit odd, okay? But after you read lots and lots of them, you start to realize it definitely is a code. Mike Cernovich, who has been I believe he's been a criminal lawyer and has defended drug dealers and things like that, he said it's definitely a code, because drug dealers also use codes like this. Tony Podesta wrote, it's at 29th Street between Park and Madison, right around the corner. Let me know. So that's in downtown Manhattan. Or I could bring a pizza home. Tony. John Podesta said, I'm going to pass, and here's the weird bit. I have too much to do before heading to Michigan tomorrow. No need for pizza. So I don't know about you, but if someone asked me if I wanted pizza, I would either say yes please, or no, I'm actually not hungry, or I've arranged to get something else for dinner. But why would he say no need for pizza? That's a bit odd. And then his brother, Tony Podesta, says see you at home. So this is also a bit odd. Like, why are these two brothers living in the same place? That's a bit strange. I think they actually have separate houses, so maybe home is a code word. I don't know. It's very strange. Anyway, there are tons of emails like this. People on 4chan and Reddit are going crazy over this stuff because it does appear that they are routinely asking each other about walnuts and sauces and all this kind of stuff. The same 5 or 6 different types of food they're constantly talking about, and not any other types of food. And they do speak about them in a very strange way. So here we go. I'm just going to leave you with this one. Do these computer-generated images released by detectives in the UK look like these men? Someone on Twitter said that he actually tried phoning the FBI about this because he wanted to call in and say, hey, look, these suspects' profiles match these men. And they hung up on him as soon as he mentioned the name Podesta. There is so much more evidence about this. Unfortunately, it's scattered all over the internet, so I'm trying to bring it all in one place for you to easily see. If you're on Twitter, go and search for Podesta and you'll see a lot like this. Go on Reddit, go on 4chan. I'll try and put some links below so that you guys can actually have a look. Because once you see the amount of evidence, like a lot of it's kind of smaller stuff, but all mounted up, it really looks extremely suspicious and concerning. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of the volunteers who are scouring WikiLeaks and scouring the internet for this kind of information.
I realized that there was a pizza place that I had heard about very, very nearby my home, Washington, D.C., called Comet Pizza. So, let's go take a look, shall we? Comet Pizza. Here we go.
There it is, guys. There it is. Comet Pizza. Comet Pizza's right there. Little Red Fox. Next door, Little Red Fox. Then we got Bucks, Big Bucks Fishing Company. And then guys, just right down here, it's Besta Pizza. See Besta Pizza? And the symbol. Guys, see the symbol? Right? You can see the symbol. Remember the symbol on the FBI list. This symbol right here for Besta Pizza. So a lot of people have been going into that back room. No, a lot of people have been going to that back room. Did you see the face on the wall over there? I don't know if I got a good shot of it, but there was like a face on the wall of like this demonic face. You go back and check it out. Like a satanic, which is like on the last week. Like a satanic face there.
DC's finest. DC's finest.
Just look at some of the stuff around here, guys. Yo, it's the guy from before. He's on the phone. It's the guy I was talking to before. He was on the phone. The guy I was talking to before.
Do you guys want anything to drink to start off with?
Yeah, I got a good guy. You could just see the way that the guy was holding his phone, looking directly at me, looking directly at us. He was definitely like trying to look at my phone, trying to see what's going on. You know, I think we're burned, but we're gonna hold on. We're gonna keep periscoping because, George, what do I always say? Always be scoping.
Always be scoping.
Always be scoping. I turned it off.
I understand that to you this is maybe like a game, but considering that I myself and my staff receive death threats,
It's not a game. It's not anything.
Are you reading these things that people are writing?
I can't control what somebody posts on the internet, what someone comments.
At this point, he doesn't have to provide services. He wants you to leave, you have to leave. That's
And
it.
you're filming me now.
Well, you're throwing me out.
I am because you are aiding a dangerous environment.
Right. So at the point that this started, I had turned it off. And so
I'm denying you service.
He's denying you service. He wants you to leave. Yeah.
He asked me to turn it off, and I turned it off.
Okay.
I did
But
not
he's denying you service. He wants you to leave.
So why specifically?
I've already explained this. Sir, please.
You don't have to explain anything. He wants you to leave the police, sir.
Okay, so we're good. We're good for the.
Just grab your property and just leave.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna head up. I'm fully compliant. Just trying to find out what's going on. Wow.
It almost makes bigger news.
Wow. So thrown out of Comet Pizza. Thrown out of Comet Pizza for periscoping. Now, guys. Yeah, completely threw me out of here. No, guys, I wasn't, and George, you can back me up on this. You go back and watch my last Periscope, you can see me getting thrown out. I said, what am I being thrown out for? And he said, you're feeding an alt-right conspiracy. Right. All of a sudden, after I got thrown out of Comet Pizza, all of a sudden, everything started acting crazy. I've never seen Periscope do something like this, where the Periscope went down, and it wasn't down. The Periscope was down, and so I couldn't send any video, but the video was still going on. The video was still actually, yeah, it was right after I said alt-right conspiracy.
We're fearing for our lives.
Right after I said alt-right conspiracy, it went down. So this had absolutely the hallmarks. So I'm saying it wasn't just the fact that I had it in my title. This was something where they've got eyes on me. They've got eyes on anybody that's coming into Comet Pizza. They've got eyes on everybody. Because we saw
There was a back room.
a secret back room.
People were going in and out of there. There was music. There were kids, little
There
kids
were little
around.
kids going in and out of
they're
this
not
back
talking,
room.
Like 1 or 2 kids.
And this is a bar.
And this is 9 o'clock at night on a
How
Wednesday.
many? So yeah, this place there's so much stuff going on. The Periscope's acting possessed, and there's a back room back there. So I want subs.
Bathroom doors.
Yeah, the bathroom doors were these weird hidden doors that like you couldn't see them. And it was funny, so you could see there were like some couches and chairs in the back room, and it was behind this like black curtain, but you could see around it a little bit. It looked like there were candles actually, because you could see like a flickering light almost.
It was like the ping pong and the unused foosball table was just there for show. Just to,
Yeah,
like,
the ping pong and like the ping pong table was there, and like the foosball table was there, but nobody was actually playing it.
No.
And when I asked him about
He
it,
thought it was weird that
yeah,
we were
he was like, "Why do you want to ask about
I
that?"
didn't even know what foosball was. The-
Yeah,
the
I asked
girl
lady
is-
what foosball was, and she's like, "I just started here 3 days ago. What's foosball?" Like really weird answer.
Yeah, we're being followed.
Really weird
We're being
stuff
followed.
going
That's
on. They are scared at the power of Periscope. They're scared at the power of citizen journalism. They've been hiding out in the shadows for many, many years. They've been hiding this stuff from the real world. They've been hiding whether or not they're doing these satanic things or they're involved with these kids, whatever it is, they are involved in something that they are trying to hide. And the power of Periscope and the power of social media is tearing down these walls.
Alright guys, so today Mark Zuckerberg is telling us what is fake news and how we should stop it, and how they are actually stopping it right now without our help. So Mark Zuckerberg is saying in this post that they're gonna stop posts even before they get reported. So I guess also New York Times is telling us what fake news is. They're telling us this Pizzagate operation is also fake news. Everything that we uncover is fake news. And fake news also was responsible for the election result in the United States. I guess WikiLeaks is also fake news. Even this unclassified enforcement Federal Bureau of Investigation's intelligence bulletin is also fake. Cyber division doesn't exist. These symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences also don't exist. We should... It's all fake, guys. Everything is fake. Oh, and the Pizzagate investigation on Reddit was also banned. I guess it's also... all of that was fake. So yeah, you gotta ban the fake news now. Only CNN and New York Times is allowed to voice their opinions.
And we've all come together to celebrate the birth of our Lord. It wasn't Christmas.
By now you've heard of WikiLeaks and the emails leaked from John Podesta, Hillary's top advisor. These emails have contained several examples of corruption, law-breaking, collusion within the Clinton campaign and the federal government, and the media. They also reveal that John Podesta and his brother Tony Podesta participated in an occult black magic ritual called spirit cooking with Marina Abramovic. And then there's the pizza.
Welcome friendly people to Comet Pizza and Ping Pong. Have any of you enjoyed this special pizza here tonight? But no, she didn't. She held on to that child all the way to the end. And the fucked up thing was really, it was after it was born. I had to put that shit down. Euthanasia.
You're probably wondering what the hell you just watched.
Pizza and ping pong.
You're probably also wondering why the hell a ping pong place owned by friends of the Podestas that Hillary Clinton has even held fundraisers at would also be hosting something as bizarre as this.
It's fucking hard. I was like, is this what happens with babies? And it kept saying, and it's like all this noise.
There's a good chance you've never heard of this because you're probably not a pedophile, but pizza is actually a term used by pedophiles to describe pedophilia or child porn. Like any other underworld, say like the Mafia for example, the world of pedophilia has its own language. A language that's often reflected in Podesta's emails. Here's one example. A handkerchief pizza-related map? Okay. But what's really telling is they describe this pizza-related handkerchief map as a square cloth handkerchief that's white and black. This is significant because there actually is something called the handkerchief code. Black signifies S&M and bondage, and white signifies underage sex. Which, sure, if you don't know anything about John Podesta and his brother going to occult sex rituals, or Tony Podesta's sculpture in his home that is modeled after the poses that Jeffrey Dahmer put his victims in, or the artwork of Tony Podesta's favorite artist whose graphic paintings adorn his home, or the Clintons and Podesta's close ties to known pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, or Podesta's close friendship with pedophile Dennis Hastert, or the fact that the pizza place right next door has a logo that literally is listed in the FBI database as a symbol for pedophiles. And then, of course, there's this.
You want perks from her.
But now you know. Which makes the Instagram feed of the Comet Ping Pong's owner seem more than just a little bit creepy.
Now I can go back to July 1982. The Reader's Digest claimed there were 100,000 children disappearing every year. There's another statistic that I find very interesting, and that is that it is estimated 2,500 children are kidnapped and murdered in this country every year. That's an unbelievable figure. Yet, the FBI refuses to investigate it. Why didn't somebody investigate this international child kidnapping ring being operated by the CIA? Why are these congressmen voting on bills like the Patriot Act, which takes away many of our constitutional rights and civil liberties, in the best interests of, quote, protection for our country and protection from the terrorists? Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. There are people in our government, a rogue outfit, whatever, I'm not sure, who are actually behind these terrorist acts. And the reason they're behind the terrorist acts is so they can pass bills like the Patriot Act. And the reason the congressmen and the senators vote for these stupid bills, stupid by our terms and our definition, is because many of them have been set up and framed through sex and drugs. We have been operated and orchestrated primarily by U.S. military intelligence, covert criminal enterprise involving the FBI and the CIA, active in this country today. It's being covered up right from the beginning. They're using FBI informants to set up and frame people. By the way, they tried to frame me on a drug deal back in 1984, and it didn't work. The girl that they used to try to frame me contacted me, said, I need to meet with you. We met, she told me the whole story. I took a signed statement from her. Her name is Pam Fawcett. And I said to Pam, Pam, you're working for these people, the DEA and the FBI, and Modesto, by the way. She was making phone calls to me. I said, you're working with these people trying to set me up. Why have you, and of course, in the phone calls, she kept saying, trying to get me to make admissions that had knowledge of a felony, and I wouldn't. I said, I don't have any knowledge of that, or was involved in a felony, actually. I said, Pam, look, you were working with these people for 6 months. They gave you $2,000. You had the run of the FBI office. You had your own coffee cup. Why did you come to me and tell me this now? And I'd helped her, give her a little advice about her 14-year-old son in the interim, you know, talking back and forth as any individual would do who might be able to help. And she said, Ted, I woke up the other morning and I realized you're the only honest son of a bitch I've talked to in 6 months. Those were her exact words. The FBI not only tried to set me up on a drug deal, I've also been the victim of 4 separate investigations. They tried to set me up on a fraud case in Dallas. And most recently, very frankly, I've been under surveillance, heavy surveillance. I've had illegal entries into my car, into my apartment. There's been attempts to gas me within the last month, and I was able to anticipate it and avoid it. But they don't want people like me out telling the truth. And that's what I'm doing, and I will not stop. I will continue to do so. And I have 25 years of research on that back table back there. And if you buy any of my reports, or this videotape, or any of my material, I want you to make a promise that you will make copies and distribute it far and wide. We need to wake up America. Right now, let me emphasize again, I'm not anti-American. I don't believe in violence. I believe in change through legal means. But we need to wake up an apathetic, sleeping society that is active in America today. And this not only ties into MK Ultra, CIA, it ties into Satanism. There are approximately 4 million practicing Satanists in America today. involved in the Nebraska case. And I can go on about satanic cults for another hour, but I think my time is almost up. I might mention that speaking of Satanism, there are between 50 and 60,000 human sacrifices, according to 3 different sources, in this country every year. The satanic cults operate secretly. The satanic cults are, along with our covert criminal enterprise within the government, a serious threat to our society. And I thank you very much.